What would be
Absolutely.
a simple step people can take today to start preparing for their legacy? Stephanie.
Well, as you mentioned earlier, Karen, they can start with talking to their family members, because even Warren Buffett, who's so rich, he doesn't have to talk to anyone. He talked to his kids and said, "Hey, I'm giving 95% of my wealth to charity, and I don't want you children to have any issues." His kids are, well in their 50s and 60s. They are financially established on their own, but he had that conversation with them. And to my knowledge, he didn't make any changes afterwards. I think he had his documents created, but he didn't sign off until he had a conversation. Recently, I had a family come to me, and and they had a consultation for the three of them. I thought that was amazing, because on the hand, you don't have to tell everybody what you want to do, but on the other hand, if you're not having that communication, again, that's the opportunity for them to object, because despite the estrangement, right? They will not believe that you disinherited them because you haven't heard from them in 20 years. My mother would never do that, even though I didn't hear from them in 20 years. But hey, pick up the phone and say, "Hey, daughter, by the way, I'm taking you out of the will." Click. And then they can't be surprised when you actually do. On the other, and then to turn that around, what happens is when they hear that, you start hearing from them all of a sudden. They're no longer estranged. So it's all about communication. In my family, we were not the greatest communicators, and it's all about communication. And I tell people, if your lost family member, everything Cookie Monster, 9 times out of 10, they will respect the wishes of the dead. But if you're giving everything to Cookie Monster and you're giving nothing to Ernie's gonna fight. Unless you're Ernie, we don't hear from you. Or Ernie is a high earner. Ernie does very well. So it's also not unusual for the parents to give a large majority of their assets to the child who is still struggling, even if that child is 40 years old. Because life be lifing, and I know this is a land of opportunity, but people get in their mindset, we won't go there. But the point is, parents have a reason why they give one child more than the other. That child might have a disability. That child might not be in a position to take care of themselves, or that child may already be a millionaire. And so if you're a millionaire and you have a brother and sister who's struggling over here, still borrowing money from mom and dad to pay the rent, well, it's natural that mom and dad are going to give their babies more money. And you have $1 million. So why are you crying?
Yeah.
Yeah. They have reasons. They don't do it randomly. They get through. But yes,